I'm Matt Gilhooly, and this is The Life Shift, candid conversations about the pivotal moments that have changed lives forever. Hello, everyone. This is just going to be a quick little episode. I wouldn't even call it an episode. I wanted to acknowledge today is September 1st, 2023. And it's an important day for me. It is the day that my major life shift occurred when I was 8 years old. And I think if you've been listening to this show, you've probably heard me say this many times in many of my conversations. I've also done an episode that was me, and I was interviewed by my first episode guest, Kristen Lindley, and we talked about this entire journey for me. But the life shift really exists because when I was 8 years old, I was brought into my father's office when I was visiting him in Georgia, and he sat me down on the other side of his desk, and he had to tell me probably the hardest thing that he's ever had to say out loud, that my mother had been killed in a motorcycle accident a few hours before that. And at that moment, my entire life changed. I found growing up that I turned into someone that I thought others wanted me to be because I wanted them to know that I was going to be okay, that I was okay. And it took a long time. It took about 20 years to really find a way to accept all of that grief journey and put it in the past. But then I started this Life Shift podcast, and having these conversations with people has really healed parts of me that I did not know. And so I'm so grateful for this experience and the fact that so many people are trusting me with their deeply personal stories and want to have these conversations, and some people divulging things for the first time on the show. And I know that had I not experienced those things as a child and all the years after in that grief journey, I would not be able to do this show. And I'm so grateful for all the experiences since. So I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to honor my mother, Joan Gilhooly, on this day. She passed away 34 years ago today, and at this point, I don't remember her. She's more of a figment. I know I had a mother, and I vaguely remember some moments, but I was only 8 years old, and we don't often remember things from that far back. So I say all that because there's another reason that I recorded this, and I think it stems from my experiences losing my mother and trying to make sure other people feel great. But there's been such great interest in the Life Shift podcast, and I'm so honored that I'm booked out for a few months, and I will be recording multiple episodes every week for at least a few months from now. And that will definitely put me over the 100 episode mark. But part of me feels really bad when someone comes on and shares their story, and then it takes a couple months for their episode to come out. And so I want to share multiple episodes at once, and I'm going to try this out in September, and I'm going to call September Super September. So starting next week, you will receive 2 super impactful, really important conversations that I get to have on the Life Shift podcast, 2 a week. You'll get 1 on Tuesday and 1 on Friday, and I will do that for each week in September. And I hope that you find different elements of each story that resonate with you. Perhaps the show will continue growing in that way, and I'll be able to continue that on in October. But the only promise that I'm going to make is that we will have a super September, and you will get to hear from 2 amazing guests every week. So thank you for coming on this journey. If you can shout out my mother today on September 1st, it would mean so much. And thank you for being a part of this. Talk to you soon. For more information, please visit www.thelifeshiftpodcast.com.